Hey everyone, this is Video Game Lover here, and welcome to another episode, Games I Finished or Games That I Beat, for this month, and for the month of October. And I only beat 8 games, not much, but there were some good ones and kind of a dud one. So, first off, we have Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, at long last, I finally did the story mode for Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm not sure why it took me this long to finally play 11. And then I remember why I didn't like this one that much. It felt slower than Mortal Kombat X gameplay-wise. I felt Mortal Kombat X was way more fast-paced than 11's gameplay, and that might be the reason why I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat 11 that much. Still an okay story mode. I know a lot of people didn't like the story in this game, but nonetheless, it's still a good game. So it is what it is. I'm just glad I finally played through it. Next, we have the Callisto Protocol. I finished this game in a live stream, and I did not like this game at all. This was kind of like a spiritual successor to Dead Space, but oh my god, it's such a drag to play. It moves slow, there's a lot of heavy focus in melee instead of survival horror. The enemies are very, very tough to beat sometimes, and they can just throw a lot of trial and error moments with these enemies. Like, you're just walking and all of a sudden an enemy just shows up out of nowhere, and it's like you were gonna get hit anyways. It's just not a great game. The only real good thing I will say about this game is the sound is good and the graphics are great. But outside that, oh, and I forgot to mention, the story is how they kamikaze the story in the DLC is unbelievable. I did spoil it when I finished it, but I'm not going to spoil it here. The DLC basically ruins the story, so there's really no reason to play this game. There's a reason why this game went from $70 to $20 like that. It's just not a great game. I know there were some that did like this game, but I'm not one of them. This was definitely a very disappointing game, and just didn't really like that game a whole lot. Next, I finished Splatterhouse 2 on the Genesis. I finally got time to finish that game. A very good game. An all-time classic for the Genesis. It can be very difficult at times, but it's a really good game. And the music, the music's amazing. It's a wonderful game. I highly recommend it. So I've been beating a bunch of Game Boy games, and so I guess I'll show off this game, Warrior Land 3. Awesome game. Very good game for the Game Boy Color. One thing that kind of surprised me is how different this game is to the first 2 games. The first 2 games are linear. This game, while the levels are kind of linear, like one place to the other, it's kind of like a Metroidvania because you have to go back to the previous levels to get all the treasures and all the needed treasures that you need to unlock levels and then the final boss. It's a really good game. Very good game. Looks beautiful. The music is great. This is a really awesome game. Next up, we have the 2 Army Man games for the Game Boy Color. Army Man 1 and Army Man 2. I already talked about them in the pickup video. They're okay, kind of like Ikari Warriors type of games, or like the overhead Contra games and, an overhead shooter. I meant to say Mercs or Commando. So Army Man 1 is okay, but it plays really slow. However, though, Army Man 2 is a lot better because it moves faster. But as I mentioned, the one thing I do not like about these games is that the music sucks. There's only one song that plays in all the levels, and I just think that that's ridiculous. But for Army Man games, especially how bad that series can be, I'll take these 2 average games. Still, the best one is Army Man Air Attack 2. And last but not least, we have WrestleMania 2000 and WWF Betrayal. WrestleMania 2000 is basically a port of WrestleMania 2000, except it's like Mortal Kombat in a way that you have to face a couple of opponents to win the IC belt, then to face a couple of opponents to win the WWE Championship belt, and then you face, I think, 4 opponents as WWE Champion, and then you face Mr. McMahon, and he's the final boss. There's passwords in this game because it doesn't save, but this is a pretty fun wrestling game. Once you know the controls, it's actually a lot of fun. And last but not least, we have WWF Betrayal. I got a good deal on this. I got it for $10. This is a very weird game. it's a beat 'em up. It's not a wrestling game. It's a beat 'em up, and you play as either Stone Cold, The Undertaker, The Rock, or Triple H, and you gotta save Stephanie McMahon. And you fight like a bunch of people, and it's a very short beat 'em up. There's only like I think 6 levels. It can be pretty difficult at times, but it's an okay beat 'em up. It's very short. The music's not really all that good, but it's interesting that Way Forward made this game. So very weird game. But anyways, guys. That's all the games I finished for this month. I'll try my best to see if I can finish more for the month of November and December. Can you believe that we're almost at the end of 2023? This year has went by so fast. But anyways, guys, take it easy. Video Game Over 58, sign out. Peace.